Speaker today. Mr. Bhavan Signh with us this morning from California. Got up nice and early to be with us to share some of his energy and some of his wisdom during this 90-day run for you folks. So, Mr. Bhavan, you there, my friend?
Yeah, I am. Can you guys hear me?
Absolutely, my friend. Thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Awesome. Hey, thanks for having me. And thanks for the morning text because I had on my calendar 10 a.m., but that's West Coast time. So I would have been about 3 hours late for you guys. So again, for those that don't know, my name is Bhavan, and my background is I actually was a college student when I first took a look at Legal Shield. I was working at 7-Eleven. I was living in Southern California. And last year, I just moved. Actually, last January, I bought my house in Henderson, Nevada, just outside of Las Vegas. And it's been a blessing. But I know I was asked to share just some things that, about your 90-day run. And I appreciate you all jumping on and having me here today. I see some familiar faces. Hey, Bob, Joseph, nice to see you. Bob and I are on an executive director call every Monday morning with Mr. Carruthers. So real quick, you guys, I had a conversation this morning with Daniel, and I said, I'm just going to share a couple of things, but it's nothing that we don't already know. I remember, this was probably 3-4 years ago. I had qualified for this call with Mr. Carruthers. And, Mr. Carruthers is my upline. And I remember leading up to the call, I was getting messages from people, from associates, people on my team, people on other teams. People were calling me. They're saying, hey, what are you going to ask Mr. Carruthers? Are you excited for the call? What are you going to ask him? What do you like? Are you going to ask him the secret sauce of building Legal Shield? And I didn't know what to ask him, right? Because I was getting all these questions. So I jumped on the call with him. And I straight up said, hey, Mr. Carruthers, honestly, everybody's been super excited for me to have this call with you. I said, granted, you are my upline platinum, so we do talk, a little bit more regularly. I said, I'll be honest. I don't really know what to ask you. Like, I don't know what you can tell me as far as the how-tos of building Legal Shield. And I'll never forget, he said something along the lines of, don't quote me word for word, but he said something along the lines of, I don't get it too, because we already know what we need to do. It's just a matter of being consistent with the activity, right? So he had shared with me, you go out there, we already know how to prospect people. We already know how to engage in conversation. Obviously, if you're on this call here today, you're on a 90-day run. So you know the activity, right? Daniel Gonzalez just said, we already know, it's just a matter of doing it. But the one thing that I didn't do was I wasn't consistent with the activity. I used to be one of those guys that would start a 90-day run and I'd get super fired up about it. And, 10, 15, 20 days into it, after making so many phone calls and, pulling 8-10-hour days, trying to figure out how to build my Legal Shield business, I would quit on the 90-day run. It's because I wasn't consistent. I was so focused on trying to get some kind of result right away, and I wasn't getting any results. And one thing that I started to do differently is I said, I'm just going to focus on every morning. I focus on envisioning where I'm going to be 90 days from now in my Legal Shield business. So the reason why I was a couple minutes late today is I got so caught up in visualizing where my business is going to be 90 days from now that it was almost like a trance. Like, it just became so real. And the interesting thing is, when I was doing that and I opened my eyes back up, I started to have different ideas, not different ideas on how to build Legal Shield, but different ideas on how I can approach people. How can I speak to somebody with a different form of conviction? How can I get that new associate to want to be engaged rather than, as many of you know, it's kind of like, pulling teeth, right? Sometimes it can be tough, right? So I just had all these ideas that came to me, and it's just about implementing it. Again, there's no real secret sauce, and forgive me if I don't have this elaborate training prepared, Because look, we already know what we need to do. We have to take people from not knowing to knowing what Legal Shield is. We have to follow up with them. We put them on a three-way call, and then we help them do that too. In a nutshell, right? We launch their business. We help them do that too. And I think the biggest thing we can do every day is focus on what our vision is for our Legal Shield business and try to paint the picture with that, right? So, meaning when you paint the picture with that new associate, yeah, exactly. Focus on your vision. When you paint that picture with the new associate, it's not about, hey, this is what I'm going to do. It's about this is what we are going to do collectively. Do you want to be a part of that? It gives them a purpose to be a part of that organization. And now they want to build with you because they want to be part of something bigger than just, hey, I want to sell 2 or 3 memberships. Right? I hope that makes sense. And I'm going to try to keep this short because I know you said only about, just about 10 minutes. So basically my nuggets to you guys are really nothing pertaining to the activity because we already know what we need to do. I think my nugget to you guys is what is I can sit here. I'll give you an example. I was talking to, and I'm going to be a little candid. I hope that's okay, Mr. Gonzalez, if I can just be kind of real here. My biggest struggle just in life it's not my work ethic. My biggest struggle has always been my mindset. I have had the tendency to, basically there's a conflict with what I say and what my conscious mind believes and what my subconscious mind believes. And it's that subconscious mind that's going to drive us, right? So in my conscious mind, I'm sitting here saying, all right, I'm going to build this business. I'm going to be an executive director. I'm going to be a platinum. I'm going to be a ring earner. But my subconscious mind is, really? Is that really going to happen for you? I mean, look at where you are in life. Look at you. And I start pointing out all the flaws about me. And I'll give you an example. And sorry if I'm going a little bit over, but I was having lunch with Danny Katoa on Monday. He was here in Las Vegas. And so we had lunch on, I think, Monday. And I was sharing with him. He said, hey, how's it going? He's become a very good friend of mine, like a brother to me. And I'll give you an example. It's not Legal Shield related, but I hope you understand the example. So he said, hey, how's it going? And I said, and there's a reason why I'm sharing this, you guys. He said, how's it going? I said, man, it's going pretty good. I said, last night I went on this date with this incredible person. And I said, I got to be real with you, Danny. I said, the biggest thing I've noticed is I went on this date with this girl and she's a great person, but she started talking about her background. And this girl is very successful. She's connected with a lot of high net worth people. And my mind immediately went to, if that's the case, what do I have to offer her? Like, why would she want to be with me when she's got all these, maybe she's connected to guys that are better looking than me, or she's connected to people that have, that are worth tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars. And here I am, this, little 36-year-old kid that's not fully personally developed, trying to build this, Legal Shield business. And I'm struggling. Like, what do I have to offer her? And I said to Danny, and I had a conversation. And the reason why I'm sharing that story with you guys is it clicked in me. It said, my reason is not my willingness to work, but it's the attitude that I have when I'm doing the work. So I started looking back at all my activity where I was making 50, 60, 100 phone calls a day. And I looked back and I said, you know what it is? I'm doing the activity and I'm sharing, I'm painting this picture with words, but in the back of my mind, I'm saying, oh, this person's not going to do anything. Why do they want to join me in the business? Why do they want to have success with me? What do I have to offer them? Am I a good leader? That's what's playing in the back of my head when I'm talking to the person. So when I'm talking to them, I'm not speaking with any conviction. And when the person does join my team, look, you guys, I was #1 recruiter in Southern California. Again, I hope it's okay that I'm being completely candid, Mr. Gonzalez, but I was #1 recruiter in Southern California last year. I didn't break any records. I recruited 46 people for the year. That's less than 4 a month. But let me ask you guys a question. Where are those 46 people today? Your guess is as good as mine. You know why? It's because when I recruit them and I try to get into that first step training, I had to take a really hard look into myself and say, what am I saying in the back of my mind about this person that I just recruited? And this is what I'm saying. Oh, you know what? I just recruited Daniel Gonzalez. He's probably going to be like everybody else. He's not going to want to do anything. This is just going to be he's going to look at it as a little side business, $99 investment, whatever. That was what I was telling myself. So my tip to you guys is, as you're building this 90-day run, as we are all building our Legal Shield business, make sure you spend a lot of time telling yourself, filling yourself with positive words. Understand that, you know, we focus so much on this 90-day run of just, you know, so much activity, but let's also focus in this 90-day run on an overdose of personal development. When you're in the car driving, hey, put on 15, 20 minutes of a good audio. You know, I used to listen to music all the time. I love country music. I think I'm one of the rare Indians that people see me listening to country music and I'm wearing my turban and they're completely thrown off by it. And I'm singing along with it, right? But you know what? Now I'm like, you know what? Okay, something's got to change. So now every morning, I don't care if I'm driving from my house to my neighbor's house, you get in my car, what's playing right now is Building an Empire by Brian Carruthers. That's what I'm playing right now. Because I'm like, you know what? I want to do the activity, but I need to be a better person. And I'm sorry, I'll end with this. I had a conversation with my dad about 6 months ago or something. I said, Dad, I don't know why I can't seem to have the success I'm looking for in Legal Shield. I've been here for 14 years. This is what my dad said. He said, can I be real with you? This is my own father. And he said, can I be real with you? And I said, yeah. He said, you've been here 14 years, but the problem is you've repeated that same year 14 times. So being here 14 years is irrelevant. He's like, you can be here 20 years. You could be here 50 years from now, but you're repeating that same year every single year. The reason why you're not a ring earner today, or the reason why you're not a platinum today, the reason why you're not a Millionaire Club member today is because, yes, you've grown, but in the grand, look, results speak too, right? He says, based on your results, you're the same Bhavan that you were 14 years ago when you first got started at the age of 22. So with that 90-day run, listen, you guys, 90 days from now, focus on the activity, but please, let's all focus on not being the same, you know, I'm gonna call out some names, not being the same Willie Duckworth that you were 90 days ago, not being the same Bob Joseph that you were 90 days ago, or the Lou and Jacqueline Aleman, Rebecca Gonzalez, Yami, all of you guys, Jimmy Ta, focus on not being the same you 90 days from now that you are today. So with that, listen, you guys, overdose on personal development, stay focused on the 90-day run. Hey, if you guys see me in Phoenix, come up, give me a hug. Let's grab a bite together. Let's grab a drink together. Let's celebrate our successes. And Mr. Gonzalez, thanks for having me on. I love you guys. I appreciate you. And let's all go get it.